Yo, what's going on, guys? I don't know if you guys know this. I say it a lot in videos, but I don't know if people acknowledge it. But I've been thankful enough to have been given the opportunity to have been a credential media member for the last this season and part of last season with the Miami Heat. And as a result, I get to attend the games. And I typically cover more of the away team because there's already so many beat writers in Miami, and it's not like a big enough market for there to be another beat writer there. And with all that being said, I think this game exemplifies how stunning of a performance or unexpected a performance can be, especially in like the situation that I was in, due to the fact that this was a game that, I'll be honest, I am doing my PhD. So I work at the University of Miami and I do my PhD there. That's my first full-time job. My second full-time job is working for USA Today Sports, HoopsHype.com, doing multimedia journalism and some social media there. And I was like, okay, guys, like this is a game against the Wizards. Trae Young's not going to play. Bam's had a 40-point first quarter. I'm just going to watch him break LeBron's record. And I'm like Tom Cruise with everybody inside of the arena in terms of all the attendants, b-ball ops people. I say hi to everybody. I believe that you just be a good Samaritan. If someone looks you in the eye, even if you're walking by, just say hi. It's going to help you in the long run because you'll develop these small relationships that are going to pay off whenever you need something. And I was going to spend my second half. I'm developing curriculum for a sports and analytics course at the University of Miami to teach undergraduates because only 14% of the United States universities offer a sports analytics major. And I think not even major, I think just classes, but I think less than that offer an actual major. So we're developing curriculum there. And this book I read has some great stuff that I was just going to sit downstairs, watch the game on from the media room and take notes from this book so that I can use it later. And, it's halfway through the third quarter. I'm talking to my guy, Lorenzo, who was one of the attendants in the arena. And I brought back the box score sheet. So you guys, there you go. If you guys want to see it, you can tell I'm on a green screen right there. But it was, it's funny. Eric Spoelstra says, I used to have LeBron's. Well, he's like, it went up in the fire. And then he laughs and he's like, it's fine. I can laugh about that now. And I like held my mouth. We all laugh, but like, him making the joke about his house burning down was not something I had on my bingo card. So let's get right into this. I want to hear your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this? The second greatest scoring performance of all time in NBA history. Wilt Chamberlain, Bam Adebayo, Kobe Bryant. So third quarter, I go, you know what? I'm going to run back up. I want to see this happen. So I go up. I had been sitting next to Chris Krause. Like your seats usually change, but except like the long-term guys, they all have like the same seats. But I'm with Chris, and Chris and I are talking, and he's with 48 minutes, by the way. And Chris and we're talking, and we're looking. First off, Bam Adebayo not only set the most free throw attempts in the game, most free throws made. Shout out Dwight Howard for holding that record beforehand. And I don't even think at one point I'm sitting there. I'm not even saying like, dude, like I never act as a fan. I don't like really cheer unless it's like a big play that even like other media people, like you're just taught in journalism school not to have a reaction, not to be a fan, to be ejected about it. Like I acknowledge and like certain things. Like I'm probably have more expression in a press conference than I do during a game, just because I also believe like when you're a press conference and someone's talking to you, you make direct eye contact with them and you're like nodding and you're like making sure they're acknowledging what you're saying. So first off, the Wizards shot 51% from the field and 40% from three. The Heat shot 30% from three and 50% from the field, with 43 of those attempts, almost 90. That's 90 field goal attempts attempted by the Heat. 43 of those were by Bam Adebayo. All right, let's just talk about like everything. This was a blowout. No one's going to remember the score. Nobody's going to remember who like was on the floor, except they're going to remember that it was a Heat win and Bam Adebayo incredible performance. Like this is what I was saying is what I loved every second of it was that, yeah, it was blatant foul hunting. You had Eric Spoelstra telling his guys to foul the Wizards so they could shorten the Wizards' possessions to then get extra possessions themselves to put Bam Adebayo in position to like break this record. And I don't know, like some people like, oh, the sanctity of the game was offended. It was disrespected. Bro, I've never been so captivated, edge of my seat in a blowout, cheering for this. Eric Spoelstra was the orchestrator of this symphony in the sense that, dude, it was like we were playing 2K. Eric Spoelstra was us. He understood the assignment. He was telling all the teammates on the floor to help set up Bam. He literally was designing ATOs, after timeout plays, to get Bam the ball. Like, they were running plays like, look over here, it's like a Hail Mary that they're trying to get off. And or like you're playing three flies back when you were in middle school. And they're yelling the foul the Wizards to put themselves in position. Also, the last two like possessions where like Bam was just trying to break the record, he was just going so hard. And I like so impressed by what he was able to do. And I think anything that isn't the norm, especially in a blowout, should be considered a good thing. It was just cool how dedicated they were to achieve this goal. And who cares like about disrespecting? It's not disrespecting Kobe. Records are meant to be broken. And we believe what is true is really true. There would be no room for improvement. Howard Hughes once said that. And yes, it wasn't traditional basketball, but I love how all these traditionalists have come out the woodworks and are over here like acting all sanctimonious about the desecration of the game. And like, I think no one's going to remember that this game was a blowout, but the fact that it's just was so memorable and everybody there, from people working there to individuals in attendance, I really do believe that it was one of those performances that it meant a lot, especially for Bam. Like he said earlier this week, not bad for a guy who was drafted to play defense. Not bad for a guy who was drafted to play defense. He ain't wrong. I also would like to acknowledge here when pull up, I know my camera died during Spo's, right? I believe so. That pissed me off so much that my camera, I forgot to switch the batteries beforehand. So then legitimately, batteries died on me. I was livid that, so I was good for Bam, but like that was just not what I had in my bingo card for it to happen. As you guys see, Spo's right here. He came up, he gave his little talk, he was having a good time. But I really wanted to show you Asia was there. I don't know why I didn't crop her. Well, it was just because how I was shooting the video. And I also didn't expect her to talk. Like, if you'll see, she's right there. But my boy Ignacio,
I didn't want to mess up any of my job.
He was sitting there, so I moved my camera at one point. You'll notice, like, because I was like, "Damn, bro, your head's right there." But it was a really cool experience. And I think it's awesome that it's with the Miami Heat. I'm like not a Miami Heat fan at all. I don't cheer for a team anymore, but growing up, my first team was the Timberwolves because I'm the first one ever born in America in my family. And I was born in Minnesota, experienced KG, a little bit of Kevin Love, and then I moved to Orlando. So I was actually Dwight Howard. Orlando was the team that had a big impact in my life with the Washington Wizards, John Wall.
The questioning, the self, I see all that, and so for him to be thriving so well in that space during that time, I didn't want to mess up any much up because we are two of the most routine people ever. And I'm just like, all right, if I'm not in my seat, he's doing pretty well. And I remember I sat down and you missed your free throw, and I was like, all right, let me go back to the back.
I'm so mad.
But at the same time, I knew I wanted to just be there to show my support. But this has been an incredible game, obviously,
Still can't
but journey
believe
for Bam. Witnessing it firsthand,
Eric was like,
the highs and the lows of it, it's been so much fun. And I know he says that I'm his inspiration, but I don't think he has a clue how much he inspires me to continue to be the person that I am, but to show up for him. That's my biggest goal.
Cool.
Is always just to be present and show up for him. And I wasn't.
This isn't a video I typically do.
And I wasn't here, but you made up for it, and I'm grateful that
like my good buddies.
God is really just
telling me that I should do this.
Really special for him, and God doesn't play about Bam.
I don't have anything else to say. I feel like I'm wasting your time.
Moment like this, because I saw afterwards, obviously hugging Spo and the players, your mother, and of course now here, and can you just kind of talk about
fun. Anybody who's
what that's like? I mean, that must be
about
really
this is jealous. Because if you were in their shoes, they would be just as
like
stoked.
I said, man,
That's how the world works. People are jealous of other people's success, and they don't want to see others thrive.
I really got emotional. It didn't hit me until
it is what it is.
I hugged her
and this goes not just for athletics, entertainment, but this is even in your own personal life. You will come to know that when you get a promotion, when you get hired at a higher salary to another job, when your friend gets married or engaged before you do,
how to really pick myself
up. You'll feel maybe happy for them, but either you'll admit it or won't admit it. But there will be a piece of you that will be sort of either jealous, angry, or spiteful over the fact that why didn't I get engaged / married already? Why didn't I get that job offer? Why didn't I get that promotion? Because we all believe that we can do what others do.
Seeing somebody,
but it's all about,
you've seen 60, 70.
You got one chance to prove. What is it? One chance to prove. Don't blow your opportunity. I was trying to lose yourself. I don't know how to end this video. Bye.
What would he say?